Last episode we started season 4 of our PCM career mode, and it's fair to say we absolutely dominated with 4 stage wins of Paul Magnier and 3 jerseys including GC in the process. And of course, if I can, I want to try and keep winning in today's races. I think we'll start with the UAE Tour, after which we go to Belgium for the Omloop Nieuwsblad and then to Italy for Strade Bianche. But actually first, I've got some pretty cool news. Our fairly new signing Marcel Kamprubi won stage 4 of the Tour of Oman and somehow managed to defend the leader's jersey on the final stage, becoming the overall winner of the Tour of Oman through simulation, so claps for him. Anyway, now on the other side of the desert we are starting off the UAE Tour, starting off with a versatile sprint and a time trial, a first mountain stage on Jebel Jais. And while in real life Jebel Jais is mostly a group sprint, on Pro Cycling Manager it is quite selective. After that 3 more sprint stages followed by Jebel Hafid, the final mountain stage. And it's quite funny because Jebel Hafid in real life is quite selective, but on Pro Cycling Manager it's often a group sprint. Wait a second, there's a new co-sponsor for Team Ineos and it's Sky. Team Sky is back! And their leader for the race is Sepkus, the American. Both Giulio Pellizzari and Primoz Roglic are here for Red Bull. And lastly, ouch, Tadej Pogacar is present at the UAE Tour. Together with Isaac Del Toro and Jan Christen, so the Trident is here. And next to that, a bunch of top sprinters, like Tim Merlier for Soudal Quickstep, Jonathan Milan for Little Trek, and the rather unknown Nate Haddon for Jayco. When it comes to my team, I'm going for GC with Lorenzo Finn, and I think his time trial improved a little bit to 72. But our biggest improver is our sprinter for this race, Zach Edson, with 78 sprint now. That said, while stage 1 kind of looks like a flat stage, it's quite hilly towards the end. So my backup sprinter for today is Matthias Kopecky. Anyway, let's get this party started. So, starting off stage 1 with a -1 on Kopecky, so that's not a great start, but a 0 day on Edson, so 79 sprint. I'm really not sure who's the better option here, because the final is quite hilly. It is so captivating that because we are in season 4, a lot of riders are simply in different teams. For example, Kudmestad is now riding for Bahrain and Hugo Page for Alpecin. Or Timo Kilich riding for Quickstep. I actually do like that transfer. Oh shit, mechanical for Thomas Kopecky, and he's back on the road, but he's alone, so I might as well pull someone back. Let's do it with Perikas here. Actually, no, I should not be pulling riders back for Thomas Kopecky. Matthias Kopecky is our leader. He's gonna come back by himself, Thomas. Honestly, 2 races in, and I already forgot that we have 2 Kopeckys now. Not a great start. In the last 20 kilometers as we speak, and I'm trying to position myself really well with Omerzel pacing myself to the front. We've got Finn at the back of my train, just for positioning, but I reckon I'll go for Zach Edson today. There are so many teams trying to position their sprinter to the point that I think it's gonna be really difficult in the end to be in position, but so far Omerzel is doing a fantastic job. Come on boys, 4.7 kilometers to go. Edson not in a great position. Energy gel though, there we go. Kopecky almost done for. Romeo time right now. Kopecky out of the way. Come on boys, position. Edson doing quite well, but losing some red bar. Losing some red bar, I do not like it. 2.5 kilometers to go. Let's launch right now with Romeo into the last 2 kilometers. Kopecky's getting blocked in. Come on team, get through, find your way through. Last kilometer, there goes Edson. Finn as well. Oh, I'm moving away. There we go. Edson tries to come past, but Davide Donati is gonna win. Yes, Davide Donati, the young sprinter now on Lotto with 80 sprint stat, makes it ahead of Milan. Like, I'm sad Zach Edson only got 6th, but it's also quite fascinating to see young sprinters like Donati pop up and be really good already. I think this guy just won Paris-Roubaix U23 in real life, by the way, so he's pretty talented. Okay, time for a 12.3 kilometer flat time trial with Tadej Pogacar as the favorite, but Ivan Romeo as second favorite. Like, sure, I want to try to win the stage, but I also want to try and keep Lorenzo Finn as close as possible in GC. So Jakob Omerzel is starting his time trial, but obviously he's not going to do well with his 64 time trial on the day. What I did want to tell you is he's 80 medium mountain now, so he must have improved. And I feel like I want to make it an extra goal this year to try and win a Grand Tour stage with Jakob Omerzel. There we go, Romeo is on the road. I must confess I'm not super confident in these short prologues, but I know that it's impossible to spend your entire yellow bar here, so it's all about the red bar. This right here is the first time check. Let's take a look. A first time by 24 seconds, but we have spent most of our red bar, so let's drop it to 85. Entering the last kilometer right now, spending that red bar to the line is important. There we go, running out of red bar now, and 34 seconds ahead, so first time for now for Ivan Romeo. I think I've changed my strategy for these prologues, by the way. Usually I started on like 86 and just did 86 the entire way, but now I do a little bit of a sprint at the start of the time trial. Anyway, Lorenzo Finn, our GC rider, is on the road. Come on, Finster, this is your moment. 73 time trial at the first time check in 4th place? That's amazing! Back on 86 in the final kilometer. Let's take a look what Finn can do on this time trial. 87, 86, 85, 86. There we go! Wow! 6th place! Wait a second, Tadej Pogacar just finished 22 seconds behind Romeo, so we win the time trial, most likely. Oh la 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 la, Ivan Romeo on the podium for stage 2 of the UAE Tour. Absolute domination in this prologue by 22 seconds on Tadej Pogacar. Which of course means that Ivan Romeo is the new leader of the UAE Tour, even though he's not exactly our GC leader. That is Lorenzo Finn, who's sitting in 7th place on about 19 seconds only of Pogacar, so that's not too far. Mamma mia, that ITT went a lot better than I expected, especially with Finn. A 7th place is a really good result for him. But okay, now it's time for the road to go uphill on Jebel Jais, the most selective mountain in this race in-game. And of course, not a surprise, Tadej Pogacar is the favorite here, ahead of his teammate, Isaac Del Toro. Nonetheless, Finn is 6th favorite, so I would like to podium this. And to be honest, I think it's possible. So, the stage has begun, and Ivan Romeo starts in that red leader's jersey with a fantastic form today. 77 mountain, 79 medium mountain. Should I try to defend that jersey? So I've thought about it and I've looked at the stats of Lorenzo Finn, which are also fantastic. 80 mountain stat, 83 medium mountain, and I think I'll go with Finn and keep Romeo in the wheel without a domestique roll. That way, if Romeo survives, he survives. If he doesn't, we go for Finn anyway. Okay, just about 40 kilometers to go. The last climb is coming in about 15-ish kilometers, and my team is well positioned. The breakaway has been caught. We've got an attack from the peloton by a random Italian rider on an Italian team. Anyway, it's time to get ready for the climb. Oi oi oi, on this small bump right here, UAE is shredding it to the point that my yellow bar is melting on every single rider, and I'm not liking it. That said, after the bump, the tempo is gone again. Just as I say that, Vlasov goes to the front and starts pacing a bit. But now with about 16.5 kilometers to go, the climb is properly starting and Madis Mikkels is pacing, so it's not doing too much damage. I've got myself on 80 as we speak. I'm trying to keep myself in a relative position. Red Bull is pacing now with Lascano, who I once again forgot to delete from the database, but anyway, I'll keep forgetting, I think. Finn on 77, 78, 11.8 kilometers to go, and Romeo's kind of surviving for now. Now the tempo is going up. Is that an attack? Yes, it is. Fischer Black and Pogacar going, so Finn has to react now because otherwise Pogacar will run away with the victory, and he might at this tempo because the gap is already 20 seconds, and he now drops Fischer Black with 7.5 kilometers to go. Ay, ay, ay. Tadej is going away. In the last 4K now, Tadej Pogacar has a gap of 40 seconds on this peloton of 40 riders still, which that's kind of ridiculous. Romeo is barely holding on. I've got Perikas moving to the wheel of Romeo because he's going to take over now with protecting Finn. We are going to catch Mr. Finn Fischer Black. But Tadej Pogacar is on his way to win the stage, and Lorenzo Finn is trying to get second place here. Romeo dropping off the back. There goes Finn. I've got some yellow left. I could have done a lot better than this. I think I could have come second, but it's going to be third place for Lorenzo Finn on Jebel Jais. So we've got our podium, but second place was possible. And I feel like Romeo did not lose too much time, so he might still be in the top 5 somewhere. Okay, looking at GC, Romeo is still in second place, Fischer Black in 3rd place, and Lorenzo Finn in 4th place. That is different than I expected. I think there's a world in which we finish this UAE Tour with 2 riders on the podium, but behind Tadej. I think that is kind of my goal now. But first, it's time for a few more sprint stages, starting with this one, where Jonathan Milan is unsurprisingly the favorite. But against this competition, I really want to try and podium one of the sprint stages with Erzen. Ouch, a -1 day on Thomas Kopecky and Matthias Kopecky, so the entire family is feeling pretty bad. Zach Erzen with 79 sprint stats, so so we can work with that. But of course, our leadout will be just as important as the sprint stat of Erzen, so I've got Omerzel with our leadout on the right side of the road. Finn is trying to follow Milan just to stay safe in position. Come on, train, this is not the position I want with 7 kilometers to go. We need to move up, and Omerzel can go 99, Kopecky can get the energy gel going. Slowly but surely moving up, but getting blocked by my own teammate Omerzel. Kopecky Thomas is now at the front, so that's nice. Romeo in the wheel, Kopecky, other guy, is also here, so we're looking good, but Romeo has to take over now with 2.7 kilometers to go. We got a sprint with him soon, to be honest, right now. Matthias Kopecky in the wheel, Erzen is not in the... We're getting blocked in Narnia here, but Matthias Kopecky launches, Erzen in the wheel, got blocked again by Bauhaus despite being ahead of him, I feel like. Jonathan Milan wins the sprint, or Donati. It is Jonathan Milan taking this one, and Lorenzo Finn finishes safely in the group just behind Pogacar. Gotta say, we've had some pretty disastrous sprints on this one, and this stage was the worst. Not even in the top 10, Matthias Kopecky finishing 11th and Zach Erzen 13th. But I swear, if you look closely at that sprint, we got blocked like 3 times, so it's not all my fault. Anyway, time for sprint number 3 with Jonathan Milan once again as the favorite, and we are 10th favorite. But of course, I still want to try and podium this. Of course, absolutely nothing is happening in this sprint stage, but I do have a random thought I want to talk about. Like, I just read the news that the Pune Grand Tour, an Indian race, is becoming a bigger race in the future, and a mainstream cycling fan probably doesn't care about that. But of course, as a pro cycling manager player that loves career mode, those smaller races add so much to the immersion of career mode, so I love to see that news. You could even start with a pro cyclist from India, try to build yourself up through winning the Pune Grand Tour, then going to a bigger team, eventually trying to win the Tour de France. I don't know. By the way, the most fascinating part about that race to begin with is that apparently, according to the numbers, there were more people spectating in person than at the Tour of Flanders. I'm sorry, but that is insane. Anyway, just like last time, we are in the wheel of Milan with Lorenzo Finn, and our train is on the right side of the road, ready to rumble. Come on, team, keep the front position. Omerzel, doing well, buddy, doing well. Tomasz Kopecky is ready for the next lead out after Omerzel right now. Erzen, not energy gel yet, but Matthias can. In the last 3.5 kilometers, Romeo's energy is melting a bit too fast to my liking. Energy gel on Erzen way too late. I basically forgot about it. Kopecky's ready right now on 99. Can't sprint yet, can't sprint yet. Right now with 1.5 to go, Erzen is ready right now on the right. Come on, buddy, come on, buddy. You're getting blocked again, but we might podium. We might podium. Donati wins and a 3rd place for Erzen. Nice. Honestly, I am super happy with this one because I wanted to podium a stage at this UAE Tour and we just succeeded. Anyway, time for the final sprint stage then to Abu Dhabi Breakwater. Let's go. Okay, train on the right side of the road looking pretty perfect. Kopecky's ready to take over pretty soon. Omerzel out of the way. Tomasz Kopecky is pacing now with 5 kilometers to go. Energy gel on both Kopecky and Erzen. Come on, no mistakes this time. There goes Romeo. Tomasz Kopecky out of the way, buddy. Matthias is ready pretty soon, but we gotta wait. 2.2k to go. Romeo can launch right now. Kopecky in the wheel. Come on, buddy. Launches from the wheel. Getting blocked in by Romeo. Nah. Erzen has to launch late and we got blocked by Romeo on the right side of the road by my own rider. The winner is once again Donati. He is dominating this race, beating Milan almost every time. Oh my god, I can't believe I got blocked by my own rider. Remember when I said stage 4 was our worst sprint in this race? Scratch that. Stage 6 is our worst sprint with a 15th place only. Anyway, at least we're still looking good when it comes to GC, so Romeo in 2nd place on 50 seconds of Tadej Pogacar and Finn in 4th place on 1:10. My goal is to finish with both riders on the podium. And of course, that battle will be fought on Jebel Hafid, a shorter climb than Jebel Jais, but steeper. On paper, Tadej Pogacar is the all-out favorite, but Finn is 3rd favorite thanks to his medium mountain stat. Normally on Pro Cycling Manager, the stage is kind of a group sprint, but I'm hoping that's not the case this time, even though a group sprint would probably be better for me. Okay, starting off with a +1 on Romeo, so that's good. 77 mountain, I love that. Finn with a 0 day, so 80 mountain. I am bathing in good form. And hopefully by the end of the stage, bathing in podium spots. Just about 20 kilometers to go, so 10k before the foot of Jebel Hafid, and nothing's happening so far. The break has 4 minutes, but actually only a minute behind in GC, so heat matters. Then again, I do expect the break to be caught on the last climb pretty easily. Okay, the climb begins. We've got Pedikas ready to protect Finn. Let's go. That is nice. We gotta keep ourselves to the front, but there comes the attack already. Already the same riders, Fisher Black and Pogacar, and they're off. I can't believe that. Like, I'm pacing in the peloton with Finn, but the gap is already a solid 30 seconds to Tadej Pogacar and Fisher Black, who is third in GC, so they're attacking my second spot. But Finn is getting dropped by Pogacar, so maybe I can get back to Finn right now. Come on, Finn. I'm sorry, but there's too many Finns on the road right now. In the last 2 kilometers, we're not with Fisher Black. Pogacar into the last kilometer. Breakaway has been caught, and we've got plenty of energy left, so I'll speed up and try and catch up with Fisher Black in the last kilometer, but I don't think it's gonna work. Come on, Finn. Come on, Finn. Sprint buddy. Sprint buddy. Come on, get to the wheel. No, it won't work, and I think Fisher Black is gonna steal the second spot of Romeo. That is really not the outcome I was hoping for this stage. Anyway, Tadej Pogacar is the winner on Jebel Hafid, and we finished third. Oh, I was actually expecting Finn to be on the podium, but it's Romeo in third place now. But hey, Ivan Romeo does step on the podium for the white jersey ahead of his teammate Lorenzo Finn, so we do take a jersey home. And actually, also team classification. Let's go! Still a disappointing outcome to the stage though, because I feel like I could have caught Fisher Black if I played it a bit differently. Anyway, before the race, I said I wanted a podium in this race in GC, so we got that, and we also got 4th place, so it's pretty solid. And of course, we can't forget that we won the time trial with Ivan Romeo. He simply keeps on doing it, winning time trials. Honestly, after this UAE Tour, we are now in 3rd place in the World Tour ranking, so I don't think we'll have to care about this ranking too much this year, because we're pretty much gonna be secure when it comes to relegation pretty easily. If anything, the bigger question will we financially survive, because at this point we are projected to be bankrupt by May. But hey, just like I said last time, if we ignore this problem, it will go away, right? Next up is our first cobble race of the season, Omloop Nieuwsblad, and Tadej Pogacar is present. Mathieu van der Poel as well, Mes Pedersen, Wout van Aert. This is the most stacked Omloop I've ever seen. And our team has 2 potential leaders. Firstly, Paul Magnier as our defensive sprinter option, or Antonio Morgado to try and follow attacks. Honestly, I kind of want to be competitive here. I'd like to get a podium. Okay, starting off with a rainy Roubaix on this one. Paul Magnier with a 0 day, so 75 cobble stat and 80 hill stat. I'm loving that. We've also got Morgado with a 0 day, but no upping of the stats there. By the way, it kind of feels a bit weird to have Paul Magnier in that European Champs jersey when I didn't do anything to deserve that, because he wasn't in my team. Is it just me that thinks that way? Anyway, we're just about halfway the race, coming towards the hill zone pretty soon, but nothing's happening so far. A 6-man breakaway with about 3 minutes 30 on the peloton, but I'm not too worried about them. We do have some early moves with about 60 kilometers to go by Ballerini, Sheehan and Delis, so that's happening. 4 more riders coming, the Pestel, Huns, Rutsch and Tarling, but in the peloton, it is Trek, Alpecin and UAE pacing. And at the moment, I'm just chilling, and I think that's the best thing to do for now. At the end of the day, Paul Magnier has a sprint, so a passive race is good for us. Oh snap, mechanical by Antonio Morgado. Is he still in the peloton? Yes, he is. So we've got some time to move up, but I think the Molenberg is coming in about 5 to 10 kilometers. So that is pretty bad timing. Morgado is so far behind, and a crash right in front of him with Tadej Pogacar involved. Tadej Pogacar is gone, so I'm sorry, Morgado, but I'm gonna keep on pacing right now with my boys up front. I'm okay with wasting away Morgado in a second group if it means that Tadej Pogacar is potentially out of the race. Tadej is back in a second or third part of the peloton now, but we are pacing like crazy, and we are so far ahead, like a minute and a half. So Tomasz Kopecki, buddy, keep on pacing. Sportsmanship, f that shit. Visma Bike is also pacing like crazy in this second part of the peloton. I don't see Wout van Aert being behind, but I do see this man right here, Jasper Philipsen. Oh snap, that is a move by Mathieu van der Poel together with Sander de Pestel and Mes Pedersen, but I've got my team right here pacing behind them. Come on. Don't let Mr. Pogacar come back. This right here is the gap, and Baroncini is closing it for Pogacar. He's back. I can't believe that. I was pacing 91, and he got back so easily. By the way, Pedersen and Van der Poel were back in the peloton, are now trying to attack again, but they're not getting away. Alvarez and now Watson is pacing. Okay, a couple of moves right here at the front of the peloton just before the Muur van Gerardsbergen hits, and there is quite a gap, to be honest. Matthias Kopecki is ready to hammer this Muurkapelle Muur on. 95 over the bridge. We've got Paul Magnier himself now with Schwarzbacher protecting is my plan, I think. So let's do 90 right now on Magnier onto the muur van Gerardsbergen. We will get blocked, but Pedersen and Philipsen and Van der Poel are getting caught. Come on, Magnier, get to them, get to them. Where's Schwarzbacher standing still? Don't know what happened there, but it's okay. Magnier is spending all his red bar, but is kind of in the group right now. Come on, follow buddy, you've got this. I'm not sure he's got this. I'm not sure he's got this. This muur is endless, but the tempo drops and I'll put myself on 85 and I can't do anything in this group, so I'll sit up and recover. But I'm kind of getting dropped on the Bosberg right now. Come on, Magnier, don't do this. On the last hill of the day, we are getting dropped. Really, Magnier? What the hell, dude? Get back! Oh, looks like shouting at Magnier might have worked because we are back in this group and I will simply sit up in the wheel of Pogacar. That is my plan. Oh shit, Pogacar attacks and I don't have the energy, so that was not a great plan. Can I get into the wheel of Van der Poel for a second? I don't think that will work. I don't have the energy. I'll just stay in that wheel of Van der Poel, hoping that I can endlessly follow, but I don't have energy. My yellow bar is empty and Pogacar has a gap of 16 seconds. With just about 5 kilometers left, my yellow bar and my red bar is now empty, so I'm dropping off the back. A really disappointing Omloop, to be honest. We are with Mathis Grisel in a second group. I'm desperately trying to get back, but that won't work. This front group is sprinting for the win. 1.4 kilometers to go. Pedersen is leading the sprint right now. Can he win it? I think he will. Looks like he's going not too early, not too late. Ben Turner tries to come around. Gauthierat on the right. Pierre Gauthierat, but I think it's Miss Pedersen winning Omloop Nieuwsblad. We will finish in Narnia. So I want to start off by saying that I think if Morgado does not puncture, we actually play for the win here. But I also think I ruined myself trying to keep Tadej Pogacar behind by pacing with my entire team, wasting so much energy. And well, the result is simply 16th place, so that is pretty disastrous. Hopefully the rest of the classics go a bit better for us. Oh, on a more positive note, Dacia wants to renew their sponsorship with our team. And as you can see on the right, they want to offer 2.5 million per year, which is a lot of money. On this page, we can see that our current sponsor budget is 2.5 million per year. And as you can see here, if we re-sign with Dacia, it goes up to 3.5 million. So I reckon I'll sign it. Right there. There we go. That is a pretty proper 1 million increase for next year, so this is looking pretty good. By the way, while we were getting destroyed at Omloop, Raúl Garcia Pierna managed to podium au Gran Camino without me controlling him, so pretty fantastic. But now it is time for our last race of this episode, Strade Bianche, and I'm looking forward to it despite Tadej Pogacar being at the start line. I would say we don't have the strongest team in the world at the start line, but Antonio Morgado is gonna be our man here. Hopefully a top 5, something like that. But I think even that result might be difficult. Okay, Strade is about to begin a 0 day on Morgado, so when it comes to his stats, that means 77 hill stat, 77 cobbles, 75 downhill. And I'm pretty sure downhill matters quite a bit for these Strade-like stages. Lots of riders are trying to get into that breakaway, but I kind of want to be in there as well, but track is spacing too hard for me to do that right now. Could I potentially get across with Samuel Watson on the flat here? Oh, Yates is blocking me. That is illegal, buddy. Let's go. There goes Watson off the front. Come on, buddy. Bridge. Is this moto pacing? Maybe, but I want to get to that breakaway and they're not making it easy for me because they keep on going all out. And I feel like the same is happening in the peloton behind me, so I'm kind of stuck in a chasse patate in between. And on that note, Watson is back in the peloton, so my attack into the breakaway failed completely. Oh, a puncture by Alvarez. Is he still in the peloton? Yes, indeed. It's kind of funny on Pro Cycling Manager that you can literally puncture and still be in the same group. Oh my god, it is so weird to see Paul Sixas in the colors of Ineos. I'm definitely not used to that yet. Anyway, the sector on the right side of my screen is the one where Pogacar always attacks. That is Monte Santi Marie. I'm not sure that will happen on Pro Cycling Manager though. If anything, I hope it doesn't, because the more passive the race, the more I've got a chance for a proper result. Okay, here we go. Monte Santi Marie, 5.7 kilometers at 2.3%. In real life, the sector is longer, I'm pretty sure. I think it's like 10 kilometers. And we can see UAE Team Emirates directly going to the front with Pablo Torres trying to catch the breakaway up the road and trying to make the race as hard as possible, but Pogacar is kind of positioned behind us, so I don't need to speed up too much yet. It's not like UAE is gonna leave behind Pogacar, huh? Come on, Morgado, follow the wheel, stay in the wheel of Tadej Pogacar. 48 people left in the group and all my teammates are done for. It's gonna be a 15-man group by the end of this sector. Arensman is now pacing for Mats Wenzel for Visma Lease Bike, so that is interesting. Come on, Morgado. Just sit in the group and try to recover as much as possible because my yellow bar is not looking too fantastic. We caught the breakaway and this breakaway group or whatever it's called, this first peloton, is now 19 riders. Scratch that, people keep on dropping, so it's down to 14 riders. Come on, Morgado, stay in the wheel of Pogacar. By the way, it's still 68 kilometers to go, so nowhere near done. Honestly, I think Pogacar is gonna win this race pretty easily, but I'm gonna try and recover as much as possible in these in-between passive segments because I need my yellow bar back. On to our next sector then with 51 kilometers to go. Gotta make sure I stay in the wheel of everybody here, so no one is allowed to attack. The benefit is, as long as Arensman is pacing for Mats Wenzel, there is a teammate of someone to pace if someone attacks. What sector is this? Is this Colipinzuto? I think it might be, but we've got Gilles Gelders at the front now, Arensman and right in the wheel, Söderqvist right here, Van Eetveld, Mats Wenzel, Pogacar, Van der Meulen, Evenepoel, Witten Philipsen and so forth. So let's stay in this group as long as possible. Oh snap, Van Eetveld is about to snap off the back and Gelders is also done for, so riders are dropping one by one, which that improves our finishing position. But I think we're coming pretty close to the point where Morgado will drop himself pretty soon because my yellow bar is looking pretty bad too. I'm just surprised that there's been no attacks in this group so far, so Pogacar extremely passive. 39 kilometers to go and my yellow bar is gone, so I'm using red bar right now. Come on, Morgado, hold on a little bit longer. Oh no, this is it, this is it, this is it. Oh, hold on to the back wheel. Hold on to the back wheel, Morgado. We are still in the group in this downhill, but barely. Ay, Max van der Meulen is starting to pace and we are dropping together with Gregoire, Fred Wright and Arensman behind us as well. We're still potentially in a top 10 position. Actually, there's like 8 riders up the road, so Morgado is exactly in a top 10 position. So if we can stay with Gregoire and maybe work together, then we can keep right behind. Back onto Colipinzuto. Are we gonna see an attack by Tadej Pogacar soon with 18 kilometers to go? I predicted it. There goes Tadej Pogacar. Immediately a gap of 15 seconds. Remco Evenepoel is trying to pace. Laurence for Lotto is such a weird side, by the way. Sixas is getting dropped. Wenzel as well, but it's gonna be Tadej Pogacar winning Strade Bianche for the billionth time. In the meanwhile, Antonio Morgado and Gregoire are desperately trying to keep the next group behind that, well, is pacing a bit faster than me, so they're getting closer, which I don't like. Come on, Morgado. Tadej Pogacar in the last kilometer on Piazza del Campo. There he finishes and wins the race, but Antonio Morgado is 8 minutes behind and is fighting for a top 10 position with Gregoire right now, trying to keep the group behind, and the gap is back up to 50 seconds, so I think we might be safe. I'm gonna try and sit up a little bit in this downhill to try and recover quite a bit of energy for the uphill segment into Siena. There we go, final corner, 2 kilometers to go up to 70. Is that too early? 75, something like that. Onto the Via Santa Caterina, we've got Gregoire trying to drop me, but buddy, you have not met the real man right here, Antonio Morgado, who will finish in 9th place in the Strade Bianche. Completely done for, but to be honest, I'm happy with 9th. That race was so incredibly hard that there's nothing I could have done. The gaps are absolutely massive at the Strade Bianche, and reality is, that's what it's like in real life with Tadej Pogacar, so it's realistic. But while finishing in the top 10 of Strade Bianche is a pretty okay result, I was kinda hoping for more in Omloop and Strade combined. I don't think Milano-Sanremo is that difficult, but for example, E3 is a much harder classic, so we gotta play better if we want to compete there. One thing is certain, if our domination at the Tour Down Under lifted us into the clouds, we're definitely humbled back to earth by today's episode. A single victory by Ivan Romeo in the time trial. Then again, we can't complain about a podium in GC. Anyway, next episode I will be skipping Paris-Nice and I'll go straight through with Tirreno Adriatico because the parkour is more fun. And after that we'll take on Milano-Sanremo, so I can't wait for that one. But hey, that's the end of today's episode. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.